This conference will now be recorded.
So good morning, everyone. This is Suresh. Anyone joined newly today first class?
Yeah, Suresh, I am Ravi. I am
Yeah,
joining today.
I had joined.
Okay,
This is
okay.
Ankita. I had joined newly, but I had attended yesterday's session on your link.
Okay, not an issue. So see here. So we did not discuss much of information like in yesterday class. So simply we created like some Spring Boot application. I'm using the STS tool to get like some of the advanced compared to the our Eclipse. So I'm using the STS first. This is an and whenever like let me provide information new go to Spring Starter project. We need to take as a starter project and how many jars like what are the jars we require we can select here like using the check boxes. So give the names and here available like for example we are working some we will find after web we can work on it JPA and JPA and anything like timely if you are working on timely we will see. So these are the nothing but starters we are going to call. So starters is nothing but internally it's having the jars information. So those jar is going to like download it from the central repository available into the our local repository. So after that just click on the finish. So once we click on the finish, so this is the structure is going to created internally. uh, who is the person, can you mute who is on unmute like so other people may not disturb. Okay. Now see here, the structure is also very important. We created the home controller. In the inside the home control, we did not have much information here. Just simply we are trying to return home.jsp. So this is we have seen the from there only the Spring Boot application is going to run. And this is the resource folder. Inside the resource folder, we created only home.html. Other than this, we did not work on it. And simply in our yesterday class, we are working on the Spring security. So why I'm providing Spring security means, so first when we are discussing the Spring security at initial days, like whenever we are trying to discuss like when we are trying to implement more concept, so we are having the option to like work on its Spring security. Every time we will provide the username password and we will enter into the application, we'll perform some operations like we are trying to do some example on this. And now identify here we have the web starter and after that timely if you are using and we have only the Spring security. And so we will work on it JPA related. That's the reason I added MySQL dependency. So other than this, we don't have anything here. So these all about our status information. So let's run on the simple example how it's look like using the Spring Boot app. We can run our application internally. Whenever we are providing the web, the Tomcat server is enabled by default. So this is the Spring Boot is going to provide for us. What is happening here? Okay, so okay, so we added some jars information, but it's trying to identify the URL. So what is the jar we added here? Let me check. Now, so we use, I hope, JPA. Okay, we added the JPA dependency. We need to provide the particular what we can call it as the URL, username, and password related information. And let me provide those information. Spring dot data source data source dot username, and the username we are having root. Password root 1234 at the rate, and after that we need to provide the URL and driver class name. Spring dot data source dot URL. This URL, let me, okay, let me copy from the previous example, because if you miss anything URL, again we will get in some. Okay, instead of doing MySQL configuration file. Okay. Let me copy the username and sorry, URL and driver class name. Provided. Okay. This is the driver class name, and the spring dot data source dot URL. So what is our schema? MySQL we are using, and save. So it's trying to building our application. Once it is built, we'll try to focus on the Spring security related information. Okay, and let me start the server. See, from the main method also we can start the server. The shortcut is nothing but Alt Shift B. What happened? Alt Shift X B. The server is going to start. Okay. Oh, this class is deprecated. Still, we can use on it. So see here, application started. Spring Boot application is started. Earlier we have some exception called URL, and we will try to change this. Let me see. Okay. Here, right. Go to the application. Which your driver class? Okay. Change to CJ. Okay, we'll see later. I am trying to save this driver class. Now, just focus on our example. So yesterday, some people they are asking the default username. The default username is nothing but user. User and oh, where is the password? Oh, we did not copy the password. Okay, let's start one more time here, because the default password only we are using instead of working on our own style. So after that, we'll try to change. And see, here we are going to get some shortcuts information, and just click on the B. The server is going to start. Alt Shift D. This is nothing but the shortcut to start our server. Copy the default password here and go to run one more time. User is an username. I'm giving the default password and sign in. So we are in our welcome page. So that is nothing but we developed here. So simply we don't have much information inside the home.html. So welcome to Spring Boot. This is the message we are seeing on our console. Any questions regarding this simple the Spring security application? No? Okay. So let's focus on our example, how we can work on it. Like that we have seen using these two ways we can work on it, and instead of working on the default username and password, we can give our own username password. So now today what I'm doing, instead of providing in our configuration file, we will try to get the data from the database. So how we can get the data from the database is nothing but we will try to insert some user related information into the database, and we'll try to provide those, like we will try to connect with the database to get a username and password. So before going to run, we need to know some of the basic information how the string security is going to work. So whether we are working on the Spring Boot or whether you are working on the Spring, we need to know the Spring security first. The Spring security is nothing but is going to work on the basic like handling the authentication and authorization. It's very important how we are going to handle the authentication, and we have how the person having the authorization. So let me open. So what is the authentication and what is authorization? In the yesterday class, I hope here we have. So here, what I'm doing here. So what is anyone having an idea? What is authentication here? Guys, if I have any, yeah, tell me.
User is authenticated or not in the sense, user is sorry, not able to explain. Sorry.
I did not get you. No? Okay. I hope some the person having some network issue. I hope I did not listen the properly what he's trying to say. Any other persons having the okay. Okay, sorry, not an issue. Like he's getting some what we can call it as shining, so he could not answer properly. Not an issue. Any other persons that are interested to discuss with me regarding this authentication and authorization? No? Okay. So
Yeah.
Like valid user, we can express it. Valid user, we can say in that way.
It will verify your identity to an application.
okay. So don't worry. Thank you. Let's focus on. I will explain. So that is not a valid user. I'm not asking about whether the user is valid or not. Okay. See, just mute all the people who are trying to answer. See here, authentication is nothing but, so we need some the restriction, like we are going to provide the login page to the particular user. Whether the particular user have the basic credential, So then only we will enter into, we are giving an option to enter into the our application first. So that is nothing but a authentication. Authentication is nothing but the particular whoever, like in the real-time application, more than one user trying to access our application. So we need to restrict some of the people who does not have the particular credentials. So if we provide some particular credential, they may enter into the our application and they can access what are the resource they are trying to access here. So the authentication, how we are going to provide is nothing but providing the login page here. So giving an username and password will focus on enter into the our application. But and what is the authorization is also very important here. So authorization is nothing but, for example, we have an application. Inside the application, we have the users call, the roles I'm providing here. One is the user role, and one more is admin role, and one more is HR role, and one more is manager role. So these are the authorizations, we can call it as. If the user is trying to access, the user can only authorize with the user related resource. The user cannot access the admin related resource, and they cannot access the HR related as well as the manager related resource. So same way we are restricting like the particular based on the user, we are going to provide the role of the particular user. The role is nothing but a authorizations we are going to call. So this is the basic any security application is followed. And in our Spring Security, initially is going implemented some of the concepts using. So this is the name ACE-GI security. Like when the Spring Security is introduced in the 2.0, so they implemented some of the concepts from the ACE security. Using the ACE-GI security, the Spring people implemented the concept. Okay. So once after that, in the Spring 2.5, they provided the some naming like namespace. So here I have a question: what is the use of the namespace? Any idea? And where we will use the namespaces? I'm talking about the Spring. So the Spring names, like in the Spring Boot, we don't have a namespaces at all. Sorry.
Namespace is mainly for reducing the code. So we will like p colon something. We will giving that for that so that we can reduce the code in XML file.
Yes, exactly. So if you have some idea, like in our XML, we'll try to give some like XSD, Spring core bean 3.0, some XSD we are going to give. So like, let me Spring bean some 3.0.xsd. So we'll try to give some XSD related information. I hope everyone understood. When we are working on the XML related application, we will give an XSD. So the XSD having the names internally having the namespace, like we the XSD, what is the purpose of this XSD is nothing but instead of using the each user, like providing the multiple like the all the functionality into the our application. So the Spring people provided the XSD is nothing but the common location. Using this particular XSD location, we can work on it. And once inside the XSD, they provided the namespace. The namespace is nothing but, for example, security colon some HTTP basic. So this is the one namespace I'm giving here. So here the namespace name is nothing but security. Using this particular security, we can access the HTTP basic. So those are the concepts that are available inside the Spring Security. Okay. So after that, they provided some annotations. Later, they introduced the annotations concept. So first, we will focus on how exactly we can work on it using the annotation style, because in the Springboard we are not going to develop the XML style, so we'll focus on the only annotations. So whenever we are working on the annotation style, as I told, we need to create the two classes first. What are the two classes we need to create? So one is the initializer class, one more is some config related class. So what is the use of the initializer class? And I have a question here. And when we're working on the Spring MVC, we will create one initializer class. The initializer class having the three methods, right? The three methods called root config is the one method, and select request we are having the one method, and select config. So what is the use of these three methods having one class? So that is nothing but some initializer class. But I want to know what is the use of these three methods. Any idea? Because when we are working on the annotations example in a Spring MVC, I'm talking about the Spring MVC here. So let me create a class here. I hope some people they may get some idea. Spring initialize MVC. Spring initializer I'm creating, and extends abstract. What is the name of the class? Not abstract security. So this is the abstract annotation config dispatcher select initializer, and try to see the methods having three methods. So as I told, okay, the naming convention is different, but the intention is providing the root config and select config and select mapping. So what is the use of these three methods? Any idea? I hope everyone has some basic knowledge, the Spring MVC related applications I'm expecting here. Whoever does not have a knowledge, also you can message me, but we don't want to waste our time. If you have anyone having an idea, please try to communicate. Otherwise, try to message me who does not have a knowledge on these three methods also. Can you respond, Karthik? I hope you are aware of it, these three methods. No? Guys, whoever not working on these three methods, don't waste the time. I'm requesting everyone, whoever does not have a knowledge, message, don't talk to me.
Servlet configuration classes, we need to give the our own configuration classes. Like we need to create a configuration class, right, for creating MEC application annotation based.
Okay, so just wait, Karthik. And what is use of the configuration classes?
Instead of web.xml, we are creating the configuration.
Yes, exactly. So instead of providing the information to the XML file, we have a configuration class. Those is going to work as a XML, right? So those information we are going to specify inside the select config classes. And what about this remaining two?
Servlet mapping, that web.xml, we are giving that mapping, right? As /.jsp, that view concept.
URL related information, we can call
Yes,
it as. Okay. And what about this root config? Okay. You does not have IPO.
Spring
Yes.
configuration file,
Yeah,
application context, XML related information.
exactly. So application context is nothing but if we have the filters, listeners, and any other than the particular normal XML file. So those related we are going to write inside the root config classes. So how we are going to write? So simply new class And here we'll try to focus on, simply I'm writing a string.class. So just focus on this is the some filter class, or it is a listener, whatever it is. Okay, so those information we are going to write inside the root package. And here my question is, what is the use of this initializer? No idea.
If you are using XML concept, we are using some dispatcher servlet, right?
Exactly. Okay.
Instead of the XML, we are extending the classes.
Right. So I hope if you see this information, and this information we are going to write inside the web.xml, inside the web.xml file. And inside the web.xml, we will try to create like web.solid.view.dispatcher So the class name we will give, and after that we will give a URL pattern. So that is nothing but this, it's going to work. And whatever the classes we are giving, and the classes, the dispatcher solid is going to created here when we are extending from the abstract annotation config dispatcher solid. Why I'm providing this information is nothing but, so most of the people, I hope everyone copy from the Google, but even they doesn't know anything about this configuration class. And let me provide the information here. So see here, this is an abstract class, and this class is extending from the abstract dispatcher solid initializer. And focus on more information here. Context loader listener. I want to provide one interface is available. So this is the web application listener, sorry, web application initializer. So from the initial days, like is nothing but 3.2, we are working on the web application initializer. Later the Spring people introduced these are the classes, abstract classes, and try to see the methods on startup, register contact listener. And as I told, whatever the root package we are giving, so those are comes under the context, web application context. And try to see here, we have the method called web application context, I hope, registration context listener to create listener related information. So this is the root application context. This method is going to call for our root related information. Now, so this is all about the creating a web.xml file. But when come to the our Spring Security, the Spring Security is going to work on the delegating filter proxy. So delegating filter proxy is nothing but one kind of filter it is, right? Let me remove. Okay, use as it is. So one kind of a filter. What we need to do here, the filter related configuration we need to focus on here. Let me create the particular filter class. Security config. Okay, security initializer. Security initializer I'm creating here, and this initializer is going to extend from the, we have one listener class, name of the listener abstract abstract security web application initializer, and try to see the internal style. I hope everyone understood. This class also implementing from the web application initializer, and initially the particular class, where is our class? Application context. This also the class is implementing from the web application initializer, and our current example, the application security web application initializer also is implementing from the web application initializer. So it's nothing but when we want to create any the dispatches or late or any filters or any listeners, so all the classes are is implementing from the web application initializer. So this is the main interface, and this is all the abstract classes. So that is very important. And whenever we want to like anyone is trying to get more information and to try to read this information and to try to implement the method on your current example, we can easily implement it. These are the abstract classes we can implement those methods, right? So just focus on our current example, come back to here. So what it will do here, it will try to create a dispatch delegating filter proxy here. So once the delegating filter proxy is created, what we need to do here, we need to create some config class, like configuration class. Why we need to create a configuration class? Because the Spring is provided the 3 methods defaultly. So using those 3 methods, we need to work on it. Security config, and this security config is going to extend from the adapter class we have, web security, I hope. Yes, web security configure adapter, and just give a control space. So just see here, configure, we are having the method web security and authentication manager builder. So we'll try to focus on here. Now, instead of calling the super class config authentication, make in our current application, like as per our requirement, we can work on it. So first we will see in-memory authentication here. In-memory authentication dot with user. What I'm doing here, test dot password. And what is the password? Again, I'm giving as a test. So dot, we need to provide one role here. So the role is nothing but user. The role is nothing but user I'm giving, and to try to implement one more method is nothing but HTTP security. And here, instead of calling the super HTTP dot, so here we need to get provide the information called any request is coming to like any request is trying to communicate with our application, we need to provide as a security. So that's the reason what we can do here. Authorize request. After that, access decision manager. So initially we will work on it. Any request, I hope. Request matches any request. So any request dot authorized authenticated, sorry. And what I'm doing here, I am trying to provide form login. So how we are going to authenticate it? Using our form language, any request, authorized request, because any request is coming, we need to authenticate it. And how we are going to authenticate it? Using the form login. So this is the main configuration we need to provide, and we are using in-memory authentication here. Got it? So let's provide, because see why I'm providing this Spring security here, because these are the configuration by default the Spring Boot provided for us. But if some people are, instead of working on the Spring Boot internal configuration, whoever interested to configure their own style using this way, we can work on it. And here, what we need to do, provide here, we have a 2 annotations. Let me provide web. Oh, we don't have a security jar. Enable, I hope. Let me enable. Okay, so see here, enable web security, and we have the one more one, enable web MVC, I hope. See here, enable web MVC also available, but this is the deprecated. So I hope this is introduced Spring 3.4, I hope. So introduced in 3.2, but it is a deprecated. So the Spring web security is going to work on the normal applications as well as MVC related applications. So initially they're having the different annotations. web MVC and normal MVC. But after that, they're removed, and we don't want to work on it this because it is a deprecated. Just remove here. Now, what we need to do here and provide configuration. We need to provide the configuration. So see here and go to our configure application.properties. We don't want to use the Spring related information. Now we are in our Spring application. Okay. Let me check, remove the dot class files. Here we need to provide one more. We don't want because already we given. Let me run the same example. Security initializer. Okay. Oh, already the server is using. Okay, already the one server is running here, and we close the server. Try to run on our application. Let's check Spring Boot application started. Any exceptions? No. Okay, and move into the current style. So what is the username we need to give here? Test. Okay, so I hope we got some exception, and try to identify the exception here.
Sir, we commented
Oh,
test in application.
yeah, tell me.
We have commented a test, right? Username password in the application
Okay.
properties. We have to use that encrypted, encoded password.
Okay, that is okay. So see, if I'm using the encoded password, you will get to know like why we need to use the Spring code. Okay, give me 1 second. One person is trying to join. Okay, so don't worry because so internally the Spring Boot take care of this password encoder. But now observe, we are in our own, like we are trying to implement our own style. So we have given username, password here, and role also we given. But what is providing here? The error is nothing but password like encoder mapped with null. What we need to do here? We need to create one password encoder to work on it. Let me check how we can work on it, the password encoder. Any idea how we can work on it? Any idea? No? Okay. So let's focus on here and
Base
create
64
one.
encoder,
Sorry?
base 64 encoder, we can use that encoding mechanism.
So that is I'm asking how we can use. And focus on here instead of security web app config I'm using here. And this is also extends from the web secure configure adapter. Now what I'm doing here, BC. Okay, let's see the implementation of these three, because we are having 3 implementation and we need to focus on the one by one. Let me BC script. BC bcrypt BR. Okay, so this is the class we need to use. Password and encoder method I'm using. Return new. Okay. And what we need to do here, we need to make as a bean and make as our configuration. And because we created the 2 classes here, I hope, because using this extending class, we created the 2, that is Spring Security config, and we are creating one more one, web application config. So we need to provide order annotation here. So we need to work on order annotation. Let me check the server is going to restart. No, because we got an exception. Okay. Run the same server. Okay, application started. Given username, test. Bad credential. Why? Any? Let me check. What is the username and password we given? Oh, nice. Test to test. Any configuration we are using? No. Okay. Enable configuration. Enable web security. Test to test. Application database URL. Okay, so still we are into the bad credential. Let me check in memory any code we miss. Not a matter.
Password, encoding password we need to enter.
Okay, encoding password we don't want to enter. Roles user. Okay, so don't worry. We request authenticated and form login. Let me check. Enable then web security related field. Still it is generating default. I hope still it is working on the Spring default. Okay. Okay. So I hope it's working on the default mechanism. What we can do, instead of working this, first we'll try to create one user related information and we will create an object and we will work on it. So how we can create? Let me create the package. Okay. Let me use the component to scan java.echml1gy. Any issues with coming with component because the classes are, I hope they will create. Yes. One is security, comma, and web app config.class. Okay, what is happening? Let's check any other issues is occurring. Spring JP open the view, enable default the data source queries. So the manager, security contact persistence filter. CSRF. Okay. Let me use the CSRF information also. Where we need to use. Yes. Okay, let's try if it is working. Okay, otherwise we'll try to work on database related. Okay, I hope still it is working on the default behavior because we can able to see the password and just ignore and I will provide how we can work on it. And first we need to create a database structure and we will try to work on database related information here. For this, I'm creating package call model. And inside the model, we are creating two classes. User class I'm creating. And one more is I'm creating roles. A role is fine. So these are the two classes we will try to work on it. And these two classes, how it's going to work? One is the user related information and one more is the particular private long ID, private string role, ID role. These are the two columns, and to generate setters and getters, and provide entity, because we need to create a two tables in our database. Roles table I'm creating, ID, generated value, generated type, auto, column. The same way we need to create user long ID, username, password, private set of role. What happened? Okay.
Private.
Okay. Java dot util. I'm generating entity, name is equals to users, ID. Okay. Generated. I hope everyone understand what is the generated. The annotation is going to work here, because lot of already we have implemented the example using this annotations example in the column. And here my question, how to join the table, because I need to use the many to many annotation here. Can anyone explain me what is the like structure about the annotation? Multiple users can have multiple roles, so that I'm using many to many relation here. So what are the steps we need to write here? No idea?
We need to have two different columns in both the tables in the many-to-many mapping, I think so.
We need
To have two different columns in each tables. In both the tables, one column extra, and in one more column extra columns we needed when we map, when we have many to many mapping.
okay. So let's write. First, we need to provide the table name here, because we need to create extra table to store the user ID as well as role ID, because based on the user ID, role ID only, we can get to know which user having the which role. So for this, whenever we are working on the many to many, first we need to create one table called join table. And to join table, we need to provide the name. The name of the join table we can use user underscore role, right? So once we provide the name of the join, and we need to provide the join columns, give the control space, we are able to find the join columns. And inside the, after the join column, we need to provide the what column we are going to join. And we have annotations called join column. Okay, using the join column name, so we need to provide as a user underscore ID. So for this, what we need to do here, the on top of the ID, provide column name. Name is equals to user underscore ID. After that, so what we need to do here, we need to provide the inversion of join column. Inversion of join column is nothing but we are trying to join the user table, and we need to give the information opposite table. It's nothing but a roles table. For this, we need to use, just given a control space, we are going to see an inverse join columns. Got it? Inverse join columns we need to use. And now I'm giving, come to the next line. Here, inside the inverse join column, again give the control space. So we are having join column. So give the name of the join column. So what is the name of the join column we need to give here? That is nothing but role underscore ID. That is nothing but role underscore ID. Any errors? Close this. Oh, somewhere we missed the opening and closing braces, I hope. So this is very, very important. Join table. What is happening here? Okay, join table. Let me check the braces we missed. Okay, and close. Okay, and close. Where? Now we are in close this particular join column, and we need to close join table related. Okay. Change to username. Okay. At the rate join. We miss at the rate here, and we have still we are getting attribute value is undefined for the annotation style. What? Name is not undefined. Attribute value where we define the value. Join columns, column name, and inversion of join columns, join column. See, control F3, string name. Okay. Catalog schema, join columns, inversion of join columns, foreign key, inversion of foreign key, unique constant key, indexes. Okay. So we need to give as a name. What we given name only, right? Exactly. Join many to many. Oh, right.
I think we have not closed the braces. After name, even join columns also we include within the same. Is it okay?
Yes. I hope here we need to close. I hope. No. We are in the correct only. Join columns. Name of the table we given. Many to many. Name is equals to user.
I think curly braces is required.
Sorry.
Curly braces.
Curly braces. Curly braces. No, not required.
One extra braces is there, it seems, because at the rate join table one, and
No,
for name,
there is no extra braces.
no extra.
This is also correct. Join columns with given join table attribute value undefined for the annotation type many to many. Okay, many to many. We don't have a the particular. Let me check inside the many to many target entity and the cascade fetch map well. Okay, so add the cascade here. Let me add. Cascade is equals to type dot cascade check many to many. What is the name of the cascade? Cascade type. Cascade type merge. Okay. Okay. What happened? Okay. Issue resolved, but some close basis. Nice. Okay. So the issue is recording. Some we did not provide the cascade. So directly we given join table. The join table not available inside the many to many annotation. So I hope see here there is no join table information. Getting the point? So that's the exception we have seen. Who is the person? Okay, so don't worry. Tomorrow we'll try to implement this example using the JPA repository and try to focus on how we can work on the database. So later we will try to focus on the in-memory authentication because still it's taking the default. So we need to see first authentication using the database. Any questions? No? Okay.
Regarding that, we have like initializer class that is in a Spring Boot that is required or not?
Okay, exactly. Good question. The Spring initializer class we don't need. Directly we can work on it, the particular configuration classes. By extending the Spring configuration, we can work on it. And here we can provide like when we are working on the repository style, we can give a user details table or Hibernate related, we can work on data source information, like it's nothing but the dependency information we can provide. The initializer concept is taken care of internally. Just focus on this particular configuration related information, how we configure in the Spring. So we are going to configure your same thing. Okay, any questions?
And one more thing, like for daily meeting, like the code from where should I from where we'll get for joining the meeting?
Okay, I will try to create a repository. I will post the code. Don't worry.
Okay, fine.
I will give the repository name where we can get the code.
Okay, fine.
Any other questions?
Instead of using setters and getters method, can we use Java Lombok?
That is, we can work on it, but normally most of the people that does not have the knowledge. So the basic, I'm working on the getters and setters, but the user, we don't need any the getters and setters. Only one case we are going to given this information, that is nothing but when we are extending the user detail service, which is provided by the Spring. We have a class called user detail service. So we need to extend the class to get some security features. So this is the class, and here we are going to give which user we are trying to give some author like access, like is nothing but authentication and authorization. In this case only we are going to use this setters and getters. Except this we are not going to use anywhere. Okay, any questions? Okay, so we can work on it tomorrow with the